Yes, good day, good day. It's a beautiful day on the island of St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. And today I had some things on my heart that I wanted to speak about. I am here right now on the boardwalk in Christiansted on St. Croix. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how we distract ourselves and how we allow the media to distract us from what we're actually really doing, what our real intentions are, and from living, the magical life that we want to live. And so lately, as you all know, there's been a lot of distraction in the media, a lot of things going on. Namely, the Kobe Bryant situation, which is very sad. And, I feel really bad about what has happened to him and to his family and all of the things they've had to endure with his daughter and his sudden death. And all of the different things that we as people get wrapped up in emotionally, that we tie our emotional bodies into, that affect us in a way where it takes us off the course from what we're really focused on. So this video is really just about focusing on what we're doing. You can acknowledge sad events and sad situations without being completely wrapped up in them for weeks at a time, where you're just obsessing over that situation. And I felt like, even though it wasn't the exact match for everything that I like to do with this channel, which is mainly about travel and about, manifesting a travel lifestyle, I thought it was pertinent because, listen, it takes magic to manifest the lifestyle that is, beautiful like this, and really kind of quite different from what we experience living in mainland America, and to really, create a lifestyle that is befitting of everything you would have in your dreams. And I'm not saying it's perfect anywhere. There are no real true paradises, I don't think, not on this planet. But if we focus, if we stop allowing ourselves to be pulled in so many different directions, I think that we can create something close to a paradise for ourselves, right? And so recently, there's been a lot of stuff in the news, impeachment. I can't even, like, these things brush across my kind of like social media, but I don't go deep into them because, especially living here in the Virgin Islands and just having an island lifestyle, it kind of removes you in terms of the algorithm. It removes you to a degree from being entrenched in that stuff. So that stuff doesn't kind of come up on my feeds as much, and particularly because I don't go looking for it as much as it would for maybe someone who's stateside. So I don't know all the details of what's going on, but I know there's impeachment, there's Kobe Bryant and his daughter's death, there's even further back, I hate to say this, I can't remember the brother's name, bless him, may he rest in peace, but he was like a rapper in LA, and his death, and even Vaughn Benjamin, who was from St. Croix, mainly raised here, his death, and just a lot of things that had a lot of us kind of pulled in emotionally to where we were maybe not tending to our own situations as much because of what was happening in the world. And at the end of the day, it's okay to mourn, and it's this is part of the human experience, is to mourn and to feel for death and all of these things that is inevitable for all of us, basically. But how much time do we expend on these things? How much of our energy do we give up to them? And then how do we go forward and stay creating a fabulous life, knowing that, at the end of the day, death is a potential at any time. Um, Calamity is a potential at any time. We know we live in a corrupt state. So, corruption and all of these things is always a potential. And so I was just vibing that, and I think it's important that some of the ways that we can keep ourselves focused and keep ourselves from getting caught up in some of this stuff is by, really staying in our meditation, tapping into what it is we're here to do by staying connected to our ancestors, one. You know what I mean? So really connecting with the energy of those that came before us, that did the groundwork for what we're doing now. So even if we didn't know our ancestors, even if we didn't have a close connection with a lot of family members, we still can tap into the greater works that our family and that our lineage is here to do, and stay focused on that. No matter what is going on in the mainstream, in the media, none of these things are really that relevant for the bulk of us. These are just things that serve to distract us because we can't get caught up. And as much as we love these celebrities and all of this stuff, their lives are no more pertinent than anybody else's. And it's people dying every single day. It's people going through, crashes every single day. And just because they have millions of dollars doesn't make them any more pertinent than anybody else. You know what I mean? Not in the greater scheme of life, not in the spiritual realities. That does not make you more valuable. You know what I mean? What makes you valuable is the quality of your character, the way that you made choices, the way that moved in your like in the things that you could control, how you made your decisions, how you do things, how propitiate those that came before you, how you work with the elements, how you connect with nature. So these are the things that really add value to you, in my opinion, and everything is my opinion, right? So yeah, I think that staying in your meditation, having a daily meditation, having a daily practice of tapping in, of making connections, of going to your ancestral altar if you have one, of just making sure that you are connected, corded to the greater purpose for you here is one way to kind of keep that equilibrium when a lot of stuff is happening in the outside world. That, to be really frank, if we didn't have social media and television and all these things, it wouldn't really be that pertinent to you. But, at the end of the day, these people wouldn't even be who they are were it not for the media. So it's like, it's kind of a tricky thing, right? But yeah, so we just need to be realistic. We need to be grounded. It's important to connect with nature. So you've got number one, staying in your meditation. Number two, connecting with nature as much as you can. Because then when you connect with nature, it gives you a sense of grounding into reality that you don't really necessarily get connecting through asphalt and concrete and being urbanized and being stuck in these urban situations. So what really needs to happen is we need to kind of create a grounding and a centeredness through our connection with the natural elements. And so this is another way that you'll be able to know when, okay, I think I've given enough energy to this. Because when you give energy, your life force to things, it takes you and pulls you. You know what I mean? So it's pulling you off your center. And so it's really important that right now, with things the way they are on the planet, and so much, whatever rumors of war and the different things that are going on, and, kind of mysterious deaths and killings and things, and just so many different things that are just questionable in terms of like, why are these things happening? It's important that we stay very, very grounded right now, very centered, very connected to our ancestors, especially as melanated people. They are very, very close to us, especially if we acknowledge them and give some, honor to them, and maybe even give them things sometimes, And everybody's not going to be super into witchcraft, and everybody's not going to be, committing themselves to some spiritual tradition from Africa and all of these different things that we have options to get involved in. But you can do some things that will keep you, kind of focused on your connection to those that came before you, that are really there as angels and guardian angels for you. And I know this is a veer from what I usually talk about on this channel, but because of the viewership and the people that come on this channel, I think it'll be received well. So yeah, I wanted to say that, because when you're in creation mode and you're trying to create a lifestyle that is, close to the lifestyle you dream about, you don't have the energy to expend on stuff that doesn't really have anything to do with you. Right? So remember that. So yes, we here, St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. You see the mill back over there. You know, I'm here. I live in a land where everywhere you drive around is remnants and memories and relics of a time when, you know, our people were enslaved and when they were, you know, being dealt with very unjustly, you know, and didn't have no real say-so or didn't feel like they were empowered to deal with it, you know, and the ancestors, they paid a big cost, big toll, you know. And here, you know, here where I'm at on St. Croix, you know, sugar and the impact of sugar on this economy and on this land here is major. And so it's hard to forget, you know, what the ancestors went through so that we could be here. So remember them. Peace.